Morning. It's Sunday, May 3rd. My name is Lisa Maxwell. This is a message tarot reading for the collective. We had a great reading the other day. We used the Everyday Tarot, the first edition by Bridget Esselmont, Esselmont. At the bottom of the deck the other day, the Devil card came in, and I saw that. I didn't speak to it in the reading, but it was there. And so that bottom of the deck, cards often refer to an energy that's kind of like underneath. And I don't know if you noticed it, but I did. One of the things that I woke up kind of thinking about the next day and kind of saw play out was the devil was in the details. Like the devil card usually refers to habitual patterns that we have that kind of keep us stuck in ways that kind of feel hellish, right? Or in lower versions of ourselves. And so, yeah, sometimes when we get really focused on the details of things, that can keep us from seeing that broader picture which the Hierophant and the Fool offered us. Sometimes, when we're dealing with like establishment types of things that the Hierophant can also represent, we can consider that, look at what's established and know that we are having a fresh start. There is something that's already established, and that's come up a lot in the past few weeks about how there's a lot that we do know and that we bring to situations. And I think it's really important to remember that. Two cards are already coming up here. We have the Knight of Cups. This one came out along with the Three of Wands. So the Knight of Cups is an actionable figure. Hello, Doc. Hello, Mallard. The little birds have quieted down, by the way. They flew the coop. But the Knight of Cups is an actionable figure because it is a male figure, so a masculine as a male connotation. But a knight goes out and does things, acts upon things. So the impetus might be, or he might be bringing something in. In this case, he's bringing the cup, and I'm really thinking about the Holy Grail here. So this is going after something that we want. This is going after the emotional stability that we want. We're going after things that we love. We're pursuing things that and looking for things that are, that ideal. Sometimes the Knight of Cups can be a little idealistic. So again, the devil is in the details. So, yes, go for the ideal, but also be willing to see, and I think about water and water being reflective, that, it's, be willing to see where the reflection is showing up. It may not be in its fullest fruition. Remember, this is only the knight. This is not the king. So this may only be the reflection of the beauty, the creativity, the things that spark and feed your emotional, the emotional parts of ourselves. This may be also the reflection of where we're seeing how we are in emotional mastery. We're not quite the king, but we've, again, what are we bringing? What do we notice that we're bringing to the table? And again, this is a minor arcana. This is on the day-to-day level. This is not this isn't our day-to-day interactions. This is not a major arcana. And then we also have the Three of Wands. So the Three of Wands here is something is where, again, it's a card. And when these cards come up together, what I see is typically of seeing your ship on the horizon. Like, oh yeah, I see that things are coming to fruition. The things that I again, wands are about are an actionable card. The wands are the things that we pursue. It's fire energy. It's the element of fire, where this is the element of water. We're starting to really see that the things that we are pursuing are coming in. It's not necessary, and it's coming in with divine timing. It's being willing to continue to pursue being in the type of emotional mastery that allows us to actually achieve and have the passionate, fulfilled lives that we want. So I think we've done, we were noticing that we've done a lot of great work. There may be like, a desire to go for things a little more than maybe than things are actually ready for. So being an emotional master is also recognizing that, not every aspect of any given situation may be right where we are in our progress or in our process. Everyone's got their process, but that's part of being an emotional mastery, is being able to recognize and accept that that's where people are. That's where the process is at the moment, and being happy enough. This is not a night that's charging ahead. I don't see him charging ahead. And coming up with that Three of Wands, that's definitely a card of the willingness to, see that things are coming in and continue to show up on the day to day to do the kind of work that we need to do to continue to get us there. That's good stuff. That stamina is coming in. That stamina. Doing the things, and then also being willing to not be so fixated on one outcome, like being able to let that outcome occur without us working too hard, right? Just continue to show up, do the small day-to-day things that get us there. Love that. So do we have another card coming up? Being patient. The Three of Wands is a card of actual patience. Sometimes it can be hard to wait on the shore, but that's also developing, that depth, that Hierophant stuff. So yes, we've got a new beginning, and we're willing to do the small things each and every day. We find that we're willing to do that. The Magician. So the Magician cards comes up. This is the next card. This is the number 1 card in the tarot. And so just validates everything that I just said with these. This is and there's that infinity symbol. We talked about that in a couple of readings ago, or I don't know, I hope it came up, but about how that eight coming up in a lot of our readings. The 8 is a number of commitment, but when you turn it on its side, it's the infinity symbol that you see above his head. And this is a person who knows how to use all of his elements. He uses the wands, which we see in his hand. Actually, that's his magic wand. But he's got the wands. We saw him, the Three of Wands. He's got the pentacles. He's got the sword, and he has the chalice. So he has all of these things at his disposal, and he knows how to use it to make the magic in the life that he wants. This is the card that comes actually, the 0 card. And I loved how that came in at the Scorpio full moon. That was really cool. Which was the flower moon. So things are blooming, and so he's calling, and he's also calling in the divine. He's using his magic wand. He's raising it. He's like, come into my higher, wiser self. And sometimes I thought about this morning in my meditations about how it's all well and good to talk about like, oh, meditate, but it actually is being willing to be in this stillness, and through the stillness we get the guidance to know how to act, how to create the actions that we want, to have the things that we want, whether it's patience. And a magician is something who practices and practices and practices. This gentleman does the practices, but it's all well and good sometimes to talk about that. But for some people, it's like, but how do I do it? It's, again, just being willing to even take 5 minutes a day. There was something I read by St. John of the Cross this morning, which was, and I'll put it in the commentary, which is about prayer being seek by reading, find by meditation, something about prayer, and then contemplation. It's a short thing, and I'll put it in the comments. I thought it was really nice, and it's something that came across my vision as I was working in meditation. But sometimes and just because you don't meditate well doesn't mean that sometimes it can be a turnoff when people tell you to you should meditate. Really just sometimes finding the way that you like to do that. What's the element that works for you on the day-to-day basis that you can practice daily that brings you into a state of calm and brings you into your higher and wiser self. And through these types of practices, we're able to be in this type of energy. So I'm going to leave it at that. Like, share, subscribe. This message is up on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook. Get the message, just comment and like, whatever, any kind of commentary helps the message get out to, in front of eyes who we don't even know. But you could also share it directly with somebody who who might need the message. Or direct message me for your own private message. Again, I guess, and we're done. Thanks. Bye.